Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Naalala nyo, sinabi po ni Prime Minister Mark Carney a while back, I think 1 or 2 months ago, na makakaroon ng pagbabago sa Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Okay, meron lang pagbabago hindi ito i-abolish tulad ng panawagan ng ilan. Anyway, ang sinabi po niya noon, magiging mas strategic, mas specific ang approach sa kung sino lang ang maaaring hire ng PFWs later on once these supposed changes are ang analysis ng mga immigration professionals ay lilimitahan pa ng husto yung mga lugar kung saan lang pwede mag-i-issue ng mga LAMIA to be able to hire foreign workers, and that it may also be restricted only to specific industries. Okay, pero for now guys, wala pa pong update dyan. Hindi pa natin alam kung kailan ba natin makikita yan. Pero habang hinihintay yan, tuloy pa rin siyempre ang pag-advocate ng ilang mga sektor para sa pagpapanatili ng PFW programs. Kumbaga medyo kontra sila siyempre sa paghihigpit sa programang yan. Kabilang na dyan, unsurprisingly, are business groups. Siyempre, sila po ang nag-hire ng mga foreign workers. Sila rin po ang nakikinabang sa serbisyo ng foreign workers. Now, I will share with you in this episode a report released by a group of businesses. Na to me, nung binabasa ko kanina, parang pinapalabas nito na sinisiraan lang naman ng mga employers, sinisiraan lang naman ng TFW program. Hindi naman daw, kumbaga, totoo yung mga binabatong kritisismo tungkol dito. Okay, yan. So, sabay nating basahin ito. I would like to get your thoughts on this. As always, put them down there in the comment section. Ngayon pa lang, alam ko na, marami po sa inyo ang kokontra sa ilang mga babanggiting points dito. Meron po siyang 5 specific myths, kung tawagin dito sa report na to, na myths lang naman daw, hindi realidad. Okay, but for those of you who are perhaps TFWs, who have experience working with TFWs, if you are employers, whatever, and you have your inputs, you want to share it, put them down there in the comment section. Okay, ito po yan. The group is called CFIB, or yung Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Wala naman pong problema, naiintindihan natin syempre guys, no, na mananawagan sila na ipagpatuloy lang yung PFW program. Kasi I would imagine, marami rin naman po talaga mga negosyante, lalo na yung mga maliliit. Siguro in the far-flung areas na hirap makahanap ng mga workers, marami naman po talaga sa kanila ang nangangailangan ng mga TFWs. At dahil dito sa paghihigpit na ginagawa, which I believe is targeted naman din sa mga busier areas na perhaps masyado ng maraming TFWs, pati po yung mga totoong nangangailangan in far areas, sila apektado din sa changes. Okay. Pero, medyo I have my, hindi rin ako sang-ayon sa ilang pinupunto dito sa report na ito. Before I go on to the 5 key points, let me give you yung quote kung saan, bakit ko sinasabi na parang ang pinapalabas ito, sinisiraan at hindi naman totoo yung mga criticisms daw na sinasabi sa TFW program. Ang sabi po nung presidente ng CFIB na si Mr. Dan Kelly dito, Dan Kelly yung kanyang pangalan, sabi niya, the narrative around the TFW program has totally lost the plot over the past few months. Sabi niya, vilifying the businesses that need TFWs to fill the positions that Canadians don't want does nothing to address program gaps nor tackle the real issues weighing down the economy. So parang may sinasabing siyang vinivilify lang daw yung businesses. Sinisiraan mo yung mga negosyante. Una sa lahat, oo, may sinisiraan tayong mga negosyante dahil sila yung mga abusado. Pero syempre, hindi naman po yan lahat. Diba? Meron naman po talagang mga mababait na employer. Diba? Hindi naman po nila inaabuso yung TFW program. But this article just makes it appear like everybody's perfect, everybody's following the rules, when, it's quite obvious na hindi. Meron talaga pong abuses na nangyayari. And these are reflected, for example, in data presented by IRCC, ESDC, yung nangangasiwa ng TFW program. Meron po sila mga pinapatawang, mga may fina-fine, binibigyan ng penalty sa mga abusadong employers. Yun pa lang eh. Diba? It's clear symptoms na merong mali sa Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Di naman po natin madedenay, may problema ng Lamia for sale, binibenta yung mga job offer. So let's not turn a blind eye to these just because we want to keep TFWs coming in. I mean, gosh, kung ako din, tatanungin, gusto ko pa rin magkaroon yung mga kababayan natin, for example, na pagkakataong makapunta dito and be foreign workers. Pero, gusto ko yung sistemang magpapasok sa kanila dito ay maganda. Hindi yung sistema ngayon na kung saan darating dito, datat na nila dito, diskriminasyon o masasamang salita tungkol sa kanila o aabusuhin sila ng mga employers nila. Siyempre, ayoko din po nun. Okay? Anyway, kung saan-saan na naman ako napunta, sige, puntahan na natin. Yung 5 points, myths daw, ito sabi, na binabato tungkol sa TFW program. Myth number 1. Canadian businesses are addicted to hiring temporary foreign workers. Myth lang daw yan, hindi naman daw totoo. Sabi niya dito, TFWs in Canada under the TFW program barely make up 1% of the labor force in Canada. Okay. Small businesses or small business owners turn to TFWs out of necessity, not convenience. In reality, very few Canadian businesses hire temporary foreign workers. And when they do, sabi dito, it is typically a last resort, sabi dito. Okay, sorry, pero meron po akong nabasang audit report, 'di ba? Sa mga suki ko sa inyo, hindi ko na alam kung kailan ko in-air yan, but fairly recently lang din. Yung Auditor General na nag-audit ng Temporary Foreign Worker Program, ang isa sa main findings nila ay hindi talaga nasusunod ng marami yung konsepto na dapat mag-hire ka lang ng foreign workers as a last resort. Isa po yan sa kanilang main findings. Second point, itong sinasabi na barely make up 1%. I have my doubts about this, nung nakita ko. So, pinuntuhan ko ngayon yung data ng IRCC. Ilan ba ngayon ang mga naka-work permit? Ito po yan. Ayan. This is from Canada.ca. Sabi po dito, ayan, people who only hold a work permit, okay? Hindi student na naka-work at may work permit, hindi ganon, okay? Work permit holders only, 1.489 million. Okay? Sabi mo ng 1.5 million as of August 31, 2025. Ilan po ba ang working population ng Canada? I also checked that out. It's roughly 21 million. So, 1.5 million sa 21 million, kinompute ko, it's about 7%. So, una sa lahat, hindi ko alam saan po nanggaling itong sinasabi ni report. Itong myth number 1 niya, okay? O, tingin ninyo. Second myth. Temporary foreign workers are stealing Canadian jobs. Myth lang daw yan. Hindi daw po yan totoo. Ang sabi po niya dito, temporary foreign workers do not compete with Canadian labor. They complement it. Ano kayang isasagot niya doon sa mga nagrereklamo ngayon? Sa mga batang hindi makahanap ng kanilang mga summer jobs. Kailangan ba talaga ang TFWs in areas like, Toronto, Vancouver, in service areas, fast food chains. And those jobs typically, in the past, would go to, the youth workers in Canada. At ngayon, ang taas po ng youth unemployment. Okay, how do they explain that? Third myth. Saan na ba? Oh, yan. Myth number 3, temporary foreign workers are cheap labor and bring down wages. Ito, gusto ko rin ang tulong ninyo. Curious ako, no? Mahirap kasi patunayan naman to, no? How cheap is cheap pagdating po sa foreign workers ba? Sa kontrata po ba na binibigay sa inyo, sa mga foreign workers, sine-check po ninyo kung ang rate na ibinibigay ay at par sa tunay na sinesweldo kung sakaling ibigay ito sa isang local? I don't know. Please enlighten me about that. No? Pero may sinasabi po dito na kapag ang isang employer daw pala ay mag-hire ng foreign worker, parang nasa batas na dapat comparable yung papasweldo niya dito sa foreign worker doon sa ipapasweldo niya kung meron na local applicant. Okay? Na ang tanong, nasusunod ba yun? Ayan, no? Sabi dito, while TFWs are thought to contribute to wage suppression, the reality is that their wages are comparable daw to those of Canadians. Depending on the stream, employers must either pay the prevailing wage or wages that are at least comparable to those paid to Canadians in similar roles. Ayan, and these policies ensure fair and competitive compensation. Totoo ba yan? Totoo ba yan? I hope so, pero kung babalikan ko lang, alalahanin ko yung mga nakukuha kong messages. Diba? Oo, on paper, tama ang kanilang sweldo siguro mataas, pero pagdating dito, kinakaltasan pala ng mga employer. Oh, sige. Myth number 4. Temporary foreign workers affect housing and access to services. Ayan. Sabi dito, while it is thought that TFWs contribute to the housing crisis, we cannot overlook that they are part of the solution daw, as many are helping build homes or are manufacturing materials to ease supply shortages. A large share of TFWs live in rural areas which do not face the same housing pressures as urban areas. Further, many TFWs daw ay nakatira naman sa employer-provided housing, meaning they are not competing with Canadians for scarce housing in major urban cities. Okay, what do you think about that? Myth number 5. The TFW program facilitates the abuse of workers. Myth lang daw to. Myth, walang naaabuso sa TFW program. Sabi niya, the vast majority of employers treat their employees well, and the TFW program has strong mechanisms to deter and penalize non-compliance. I am sure meron po talagang mga well-behaving, compliant employers. But the truth is, marami rin pong mga abusado. Okay. Again, Lamia for sale. Yun pa lang eh. Diba? Marami tayong kababayan dyan, I'm sure, no? Bumili nung kanilang mga job offer. I only hope na kung naglabas man sila ng pera dyan, at the very least, tratuhin sila na maganda. Diba? Pero meron po dyan, binentahan na nga, tapos hindi pa susundin yung tamang sweldo, yung mga ganyan ba? Diba? At hindi po ito fake because, again, many employers have been sanctioned, punished, diba? Given penalties. Recently, merong parang 1 milyon ang fine na pinataw, diba? So, eto na po pala yung 5. Ayan, nakalima na tayo. Let me know your thoughts about this. Before I end, let us not forget, even officials of the Liberal government, which is, being blamed for this the problems in immigration, masyado daw maraming pinapasok na mga tao. Aminado sila na meron pong problema. Okay, again, this is the party who has been accused of benefiting from TFWs. Mismo sila ang aminado na kailangan nitong ayusin. Play ko tong soundbite ni former Immigration Minister Mark Miller. Okay. Bakit ito ang soundbite na pinili ko? Dahil yung nakaupo po ngayong Immigration Minister, medyo mahiyain po yata sa media, no? Kaya ito na lang.
It definitely needs to be fixed. It has problems. There's wide LMIA fraud. in the program that continues to need to be fixed. We've started to reduce the overall numbers. We also have to have a conversation, I think, with industry that has gotten addicted to temporary work in Canada, and have a conversation as to whether that is actually depressing wages, which is important, and preventing innovation. The fact that this country's gotten addicted to temporary foreign workers is a challenge. Bringing the number of temporary residents down from 7 to 5% is going to be a challenge in the next 2 years, but I think we can meet it.
Medyo mahina lang yung nakuha kong clip. Pero sinabi niya doon, the fact that many Canadian employers are addicted to temporary foreign workers. And it's because of the, perceived cheaper cost of labor na nakukuha po nila sa TFWs. Okay. Isa pa. Sige, balikan na natin si, Prime Minister Mark Miller naman. Prime Minister Mark Carney naman tayo. Ito yung sinabi niya na magkakaroon po ng upcoming changes sa TFW program. In the same statement, parang may infer natin na inaamin din niya na merong epekto sa social services ang temporary foreign workers. Dahilan, kaya kailangan itong ayusin. Para kapag ayusin na yung TFW program, pag dumating na po dito yung mga TFWs, they are treated well, they are treated better. Kaya sila ng sistema.
Now, it's clear that we have to work to continue to improve our overall immigration policies. And the temporary foreign worker program must have a focused approach that targets specific strategic sectors and needs in specific regions. So we're working on that, setting those goals, adjusting, and working to ease the strain on housing, public infrastructure, and our social services while we build that strong economy.
Working to ease yung effects nila sa housing, social services. So siya rin mismo aminado na may ganong problema. Okay, so that is it. Ito lang po ang ating episode for today. Let me know what you think, down there in the comment section. Again, guys, I am not against temporary foreign workers, Pero syempre, I am for improving the system para pag sila po ay nandito, happy-happy tayong lahat, 'di ba? Hindi sila inaabuso, 'di ba? Hindi sila tinataasan ng kilay ng mga tao dito, 'di ba? Yun lang naman. Let me know what you guys think. Bye!